You're watching Marin TV.
Stuart Horn and Alex Swan on Marin TV for tonight's sixth game on the Pacific's schedule from downtown San Rafael at Albert Park. We are scheduled for a 7:02 game. Now, just a 7:05 first pitch. It's currently 7:02. Just a couple of nights ago, right here at Albert Park, the Pacifics with a ninth inning, late inning rally, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, one away, and Michael Orifice came up, knocked one over to the shortstop, Alex, and it was able to score Zawadzki from third base on kind of a controversial play. That is, he hook slid around home plate, jumped back to the plate, and eventually got the signal from the home plate umpire. And it was just such an exciting win for the Pacifics. The fans went crazy, but more importantly, it got them off the schneid. They had been on a 3-game losing streak at that point, and they were able to correct things, right the ship, and take a couple days off, gather themselves, and start the second homestand.
And we talked about this throughout the 3-game losing streak. Pacifics needed a spark. That's what they were looking for. That type of win, walk-off style on the bottom of the ninth, that's the type of spark that can give this team momentum.
Well, if anything could, it was that kind of a win. We have, let's get the Warm Wishes weather update, if you wouldn't mind, sir. I can tell you this, folks, the prevailing wind tonight is in full effect, whereas the last couple of games, almost zero wind, as we were experiencing a mild heat wave of sorts. Tonight, though, the wind is back, blowing over the left field wall, and the Warm Wishes game time temperature is 61 degrees. We will now have the MarinLink.org starting lineups. Batting for the visiting Sonoma Stompers, who are 4-2, and who, in their 3-game set against the Pacifics last week, in the opening set, I might add, the Stompers were able to get past the good old San Rafael Pacifics. So in that 4-2, well, 2 of them were right here against San Rafael. For the Stompers, Eritz Garcia, the shortstop, will lead off, Alex. He'll be followed by Jace Ray, who will be in center field. Steve Renato at third base, and batting cleanup will be Matt Marquise. Joel Carranza will be over at first base, and Thomas McAlpine, the catcher, batting sixth. Reed Chenworth out in left field, bats seventh, with Kyle Jones, the designated hitter, and Derek Fox, the second baseman. Garcia, Ray, Ronaldo, Marquise, Carranza, McAlpine, Chenworth, Jones, and Fox, the batters for the visiting Sonoma Stompers. For the San Rafael Pacifics, defensively, Charlie Stewart will start in left field tonight. Wait, Stu, what about Chase Fontaine? Well, Fontaine, at this point, is the DH tonight, so no defensive start for Fontaine. Maybe get a look at Charlie Stewart and see how he handles this wind and, of course, the sun, which is always a sub-story here at Albert Park. Zach Pace will, of course, play in center field, as usual. Michael Hoba with the start in right. Zawadzki at third base, with David Boyd at short. Evan Boyd at short. And it's David Kiriakos at second base. Michael Orifice at first. Matt Cavanaugh, the catcher, and Jesse Smith on the mound. You're looking at the umpires now, and Assistant General Manager Tristan Barbieri, the guy with the sunglasses on. And the other gentleman, of course, is Mike Shapiro, the president and general manager of the team. The umpires for tonight's game are Kevin Benisi behind home plate and Garrett Wells in the field. We're about ready for baseball right here on Marin TV's coverage of the 2014 Pacifics. Pacifics currently 2-3 and looking to take it to 500 for the first time this year. Want to thank everybody here at the ballpark who has accommodated us, Media Row, making this broadcast possible. Of course, Scott Calhoun and the people at Marin TV who bring these telecasts to everyone in Marin to keep them apprised of what the Pacifics are doing and show them some hometown baseball action, Alex.
And he's at the yard early. I was here around 3:30, and he's already setting up. We just got the word tonight, no replay, so that experiment is over with.
I wonder what happened. I like the instant replay so much, but maybe an extra camera angle will, make the broadcast or telecast, in this case, even better. Of course, tomorrow night, fans, it'll be radio only on PacificsBaseball.com and radio.dominican.edu, broadcasting worldwide as usual. And then Thursday night, Alex and I will be right back here 48 hours from now. Another telecast on Marin TV. Out on the mound right now is Jesse Smith. He's got a 1-0 record. He started 1 week ago tonight on opening night and has that 1.28 ERA. Of course, Jesse is not only the ace of the staff, but also the pitching coach for the Pacifics. Had a long conversation with him tonight before he went into his warm-up routine and got some great insight from Smith about the way he has adapted to this new role of player and coach. It can't be easy, Alex.
And Dan Rogers, the reliever, was talking about it earlier. He takes a lot of the young pitchers under his wing. It's kind of a young staff. He's a veteran. He's the ace. He leads this ball club. When there's something that needs to be done, everybody looks to Jesse Smith, and he's the perfect guy to lead this team.
You see Evan Boyd there in the foreground on your television screen. He's our shortstop. And Jesse Smith practicing a few breaking balls. Of course, Matt Cavanaugh behind the plate. Well, we're about ready for baseball, Alex, and, being away from the yard for the last couple of days made me kind of antsy. I've been dying to get back here and get some baseball going.
It feels weird, and we're lucky that the Pacifics are in the midst of a 15-game homestand, but I'm with you. I'm antsy to get back to the yard when we miss a couple days of baseball.
That's right. We've got 9 games in the next 10 nights. The only night off will be Monday, and so we've got a ton of baseball, a good crowd on hand, especially on the Pacific side. And Jesse Smith on the mound, which is always exciting. Smith, big right-hander, features the devastating curveball, low 90s fastball when he really humps up, and just a tremendous changeup. So here's Aritz Garcia, the shortstop, to lead things off. Garcia batting .400 with 4 RBIs. And we are ready for the first pitch. 7:09. Smith into his windup
today's first pitch brought to you
and comes home a little bit up and in for ball 1. It'll be Garcia, followed by Jace Ray and Steve Renato here in the first. Righty on righty, Smith with a fastball, pops him up. Over to short. Evan Boyd hauls it in. 1 away.
That's a big out. Smith able to run in the fastball on Garcia. Anytime your leadoff hitter is batting over 400, it's good to get that first out, contain the Stompers who've been prone to strike first in the first inning.
Jace Ray will bat next with 1 away. Ray has 1 RBI so far in 5 games, batting .158. Fastball's a little high in the zone. Ball one. Top of the first. Every Tuesday and Thursday in June, right here on Marin TV. Fly ball into left field. It's slicing away from Charlie Stewart, and it rolls under the fence. And Ray has a double.
That's a good piece of hitting going the other way. Great inside-out swing. Only 2 years ago, he was an honorable mention all Pac-12 team, so he can ball. Also played basketball in high school. He's a heck of an athlete.
On the second pitch, Jace Ray slices one, the left-handed batting Ray. Slices one down the left field line and into that corner by the 320 marker here at Albert Park and rolled right under the fence. Steve Renato now with a man in scoring position and one out. Smith from the stretch comes home with a fastball, a little cutter actually. And Renato swings right over the top of it. Boy, late movement. A strike on him with the cleanup batter, Matt Marquise, on deck. 0-1. Fastball to Zach Pace. He does not move a muscle. Pace, even in the wind, handles it beautifully, 2 down. Very few center fielders in independent baseball are as adept with the glove as Zach Pace. And I would say in the Pacific Association, the league in which both the Pacifics and the Stompers participate, nobody can touch Pace. And there's some good ones.
I agree with you. And Shapiro was mentioned earlier. He asked Pace, what's it like playing out in center? And we talk about how deadly the sun is all the time. It's hard to track baseballs out there, especially on that dirt.
You know, Justin James is one of those great center fielders as well. And, of course, James was just here for that 2-game set against the Pittsburgh Metal. Fastball's in the dirt, by the way. Ball one. And James at 6'4", entirely different game than Zach Pace, but Pace is really something out there.
Both of them cover so much ground. Fluid strides.
Man at second and 2 down. Marquise fouls it back to the screen. 1-1. Top of the first inning, no score. A couple of fly balls, one by Aritz Garcia and one by Steve Renato. Of course, the double into the corner by Ray is just about all the action we've had. Joel Carranza's on deck. Should Matt Marquise reach? Now Jesse comes off the mound, and I think he wants a new ball. Yeah, that's exactly what he wants. And you'll notice on your TV screen, fans, that the mound is, well, it's right. It's like it's in a spotlight. The sun, there's a good shot of Jesse. The sun is on the mound, as it is this time each night, but the plate area is totally in shadows. Big curveball had Marquise swinging over the top, 1-2.
Marquise a good fastball hitter. Great off-speed pitch by Smith. Going below the zone, he keeps the ball down so well, and that's how you can get hitters out and be a great ground ball pitcher in the Pacific Association.
Smith way ahead in the count here, 1-2. Way ahead. With 2 away. Looks the runner back twice, and here he goes. Blocked by Kavanaugh, bounces in the dirt, 2-2. 2014 coverage of the San Rafael Pacifics. The Pacifics in their 3rd season. Of course, they were the league champions in 2012. Came so close last year. They won 72% of their games last year. Here's the 2-2. Fastball back to the screen. And Marquise has taken Jesse Smith, Alex, deeper than any other batter.
And he's hitting fastball. Hasn't gone after any off speed as Smith with that deadly changeup. But he's sitting on hard stuff.
Carranza's waiting in the wings, but it's righty on righty. To Marquise. Fastball is low, and for the first time tonight, a full count. There's a great view of the field here. The batter in the shadows. Everybody else, with the exception of the first and second baseman. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Strike 3 called. And Marquise was frozen, but he knew it. And in the top of the first inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, leaving Joel Carranza on deck. For the San Rafael Pacifics, it'll be David Kiriakos to bat first. He'll be followed by Evan Boyd and Mike Orifice when we come back in the bottom of the first. No score. You're watching Marin TV's coverage of the 2014 San Rafael Pacifics. We'll be right back.
You're watching Marin TV. You're watching Marin TV.
David Kiriakos will lead things off for the San Rafaels. Gabriel Garcia, the big lefty, on the mound. Garcia opens Kiriakos with a fastball, strike 1. It'll be Kiriakos, Boyd, Evan Boyd, and Mike Orifice here in the bottom of the first. Pacifics coming off an exciting win just a couple of nights ago. Bottom of the ninth. Come from behind victory. And that was over the Pittsburgh Metal.
And the Pacifics remember Gabriel Garcia. He went 8 1/3, earned himself a win, only gave up 2. He has a lot of great command.
Looks like Garcia's sporting a new glove. Huh.
You're right, he's rocking the blue glove tonight.
Yeah. This looks like Pacific's blue. Fastball's indoor, 1-1. It'll be David Kiriakos, who's at the plate now, followed by Evan Boyd, Mike Orifice, Mikel Hoba. Matt Cavanaugh will bat 5th. Zach Pace will bat 6th. Here's the next pitch. Sliders in the dirt, but swung on. 1-2. Pace batting 6th with Chase Fontaine batting 7th. Troy Zawadzki and Charlie Stewart will round things out for Dan DePace. By the way, a great article in the IJ this morning on the Pacific's manager, Dan DePace. Garcia reaching to the heavens. 1-2 fastball into left field. Coming in on it is Reed Chenworth. And he makes a very nice grab looking into the sun, Alex. That is a much tougher play than Chenworth made it look.
It is, especially charging in as hard as he was. Kiriakos made a big point that in order for this offense to get going, he's kind of the top of the train that gets everything started. And when he can get on, especially for Boyd and Orifice, Hova, we'll see Woodard tomorrow. That's how the Pacifics really start their rallies and get going.
Evan Boyd, batting 167, stands in and takes for strike one. Boyd with just one RBI. We saw him launch one out of here in the exhibition game on May 30th over the right field wall, a ton. 0-1 delivery. Low and in. Orifice on deck, 1-1. Defensively for the visiting Stompers, Reed Chenworth in left and Jace Ray in center. Matt Marquise over in right. Here's the 1-1. Fastball is called. Strike two. Across the infield, Steve Renato over at third with Aritz Garcia at short. Derek Fox, the second baseman, and Joel Carranza at first. Thomas McAlpine is behind the plate. Garcia goes down even a little bit lower. You know, they talk about climbing the ladder. He kind of went opposite 2-2.
That's how he pitches hitters. Keeps the ball down in the zone. He'll start hitters off with soft stuff. He's got a good fastball to back it up. Tough read.
Mike Orifice is on deck. Changeup is just fouled away. Just had to fight it off. And it got the home plate umpire, Kevin Bennessy. And Bennessy's walking it off. And I don't know where it got him, but Bennessy's he's hurting. And Jesse Mazza, the Pacific's trainer, is going to come in and check him out. And Alex.
That got him in a place you just don't want to get hit.
All right. Judging by the look on everybody's face, I think you might be right.
That's no fun for an umpire. Hopefully he's all right. He'll walk it off.
Well, fans, this is one of those awkward moments where a player gets hurt and nobody wants to talk about it. But, well, it's not a player, of course. But, you know, if you want to be a professional umpire, Alex, and you want to stand behind home plate when these guys, A, are throwing close to 90, and certainly when the ball is fouled away, those are the ones that don't get caught, that end up nicking anybody standing close to the plate. And it's the same thing with catchers. They get nailed all the time.
Oh, yeah, you got to be tough. It's a tough job, and that's why they wear those shoulder pads, because of those foul balls spewing back at him. But occasionally, you know what? An umpire's going to take a hit in an unfortunate situation. That happened. He looks like he's all right, though.
That was about the longest delay I remember for an umpire getting nailed, but I think everything's okay. He's smiling now, Kevin Bennessy. Of course, out in the field is Garrett Wells.
And Kevin Duffy is ready to continue behind home plate.
So we'll get back to Evan Boyd, the Pacific's first-year shortstop. Stands in 2-2, one away here in the bottom of the first inning. Garcia gets him with a curveball, and that was funky. Just devastating movement.
Just falls off the table right when it gets to home plate, just dies. And it's tough to pick up as a hitter, especially with Garcia being in the sun and Boyd being in the shadows.
2 down now, bottom of the first. You know, one thing I've noticed, 5 games in, the Pacifics are not starting quickly. They're kind of slow to get things going. You get to the 5th inning, and they're greased up and they're good. But the first couple innings, it seems like the Pacifics really take their time on feeling the opposition out. First pitch swinging, Mike Orifice pops it 10 miles in the air. Way over to his left is the second baseman, Derek Fox. And on one pitch, Orifice is gone. The Pacifics go 1-2-3 here in the bottom of the first inning. And coming up in the top of the second for the Stompers, it will be the 5-hole hitter, Joel Carranza, followed by Thomas McAlpine and Reed Chenworth. We'll be back in just a moment with more of Marin TV's coverage of the 2014 Pacifics. No score.
On your mark.
You're watching Marin TV.
Well, it's top of the second inning and no score. Joel Carranza will bat for the Stompers. He'll be followed by Thomas McAlpine and Reed Chenworth as the
Leading off the second inning for the Stompers.
first base and third
number
base
7,
coaches
Joel
are making their
Carranza.
way out. Ray Serrano, it looks like, Alex, in the third base coach's box. No score yet here at Albert Park. Beautiful Albert Park, opened in 1950 as a result of a gift from San Rafael businessman Jacob Albert all those years ago. First pitch is a breaking ball, and it's off of Zawadzki's glove over at third base, and it just kind of got hung up, I guess, in the sunlight. And did the home plate umpire rule that was foul? No.
I believe he called it fair, but we're talking.
It looked fair to me.
I believe it was. Zawadzki raised his glove as a high chopper right in front of his face to shield the sunlight. It went off his glove into foul territory.
I see. So Ray Serrano's making his way over to first base, and I thought he was going to argue as if the call was that the ball was foul, and that then he was going to argue it. But in fact, it had nothing to do with any of that. It was that Joel Carranza got to first base, and it may have been injured.
And he might have pulled a hammy.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it looked like. And so we're going to see a pinch runner, and that's a huge loss for the 5-hole hitter, Carranza, who only has the second hit of the night tonight. Now, granted, it's only the second inning, but he did get one off, and yeah, he's limping, Alex, and I think it's, what do you think, left hammy?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. He looks like he's done, and that's a huge loss. And he was drafted by the Rays in 07, came up with their organization. And any time you lose pop in your lineup like that, especially in your 5-hitter, that's big. It looks like Gavlik's going to replace.
First base for the Stompers, number 3, TJ Gavlik.
So Gavlik was also the pinch runner last week when one of the Stompers players went down. Thomas McAlpine, the catcher, will bat next. So TJ Gavlik, the pinch runner in place of Joel Carranza over at first base.
And he's kind of the utility infielder for the skipper, Serrano. So they're lucky they have a guy like Gavlik that can come in and play a lot of the positions. And this time he'll replace Carranza at first base.
That's a very good point. All right, McAlpine's first debut of the night. Jesse Smith, the ace of the staff, the 1.28 ERA. Looks in. Now he heaves it over to first, and Gavlik dives back in safely. Smith still in the sunlight as the shadows are creeping across the infield. Fastball's up and away. 1-0. Smith working quickly. Ooh. Just a little bit high, 2-0.
Trying to get McAlpine to chase above the belt. He's a good low ball hitter, so Smith's attacking him in the proper zones.
Smith, the opening night winner from the stretch. Again high. Kavanaugh's pulling it down, but he's not getting any sympathy from the home plate umpire, Kevin Bennessy. .30 delivery. And this is poured right in there. And once again, Alex, we talk about players who refuse to swing at 3-0. Although they and everyone in the stadium knows it's going to be a poured in fastball. And again over to first. And Gavlik is back in.
And McAlpine is the type of guy who will rarely swing 3-0. We saw him walk 3 times the last time here at Albert Park.
And we talk about it ad nauseum. That is, these batters will not swing 3-0, even though they know it's going to be a perfect pitch. Here's the 3-1. And it had a little tail on it, and now the count's full. As he fouled it out onto Anderson drive.
Smith battles back from 3-0 now to full. It's a big out if he can contain McAlpine here.
Reed Chenworth is on deck. Nobody out. Runner at first is Gavlik after Carranza with the base hit. Pardon me, it was an error. No, they gave him a hit. Oh, very close. Outside, walked him. So Gavlik to second base now. McAlpine
for the Stompers. Left fielder
to first, and here's Reed Chenworth. Chenworth, the left fielder, is really one of the most skilled left fielders in the league. Just a great glove, always seems to be in position, seems to get an early jump on everything. Real standout performer. Only batting 100 is Chenworth, and the 7-hole, his first AB tonight. Sliders in the dirt. 1-0. Kyle Jones, the designated hitter, is on deck. 2 on now, and things are mounting against Smith in a direction he would not like to see it go.
The Stompers jumped on him for 4 runs last time when they first matched up with Smith.
1-0 to Chenworth is very high. 2-0. Man, Smith has not shown great command here the last couple batters. He did go full to McAlpine. One of those was McAlpine allowing Smith to try and throw it in there.
Yeah, he's leaving the ball up a little bit right now.
He's got to get it down. 2-0 to Chenworth. And timeout was called at the last instant. And Smith is not going to like that because he was well into his windup.
How many times have we seen that at Albert Park? That's like the third or fourth time at the very last instant. Time has been granted. Usually the umpires will give the benefit to the pitcher, and you always say that's how pitchers get hurt.
All of a sudden their focus is broken and they overthrow or hurt their arm or something. Fastball is low. Now it's 3-0. And Jesse wants another new ball. And I bet he would love to ask Kevin Bennessy, the home plate umpire, why in the world would you grant such a late timeout call?
Oh, yeah. Smith's hacked off. And he's got to kind of calm himself down because the last thing you want is the bases loaded with nobody out.
2 on and 3-0, and Chenworth takes, and he does have the bases loaded now with nobody out. As that last fastball was not close. So the second walk, and Kyle Jones, the designated hitter, has a chance to bust this thing open early. Carranza with the single over to third, off the glove of Troy Zawadski, then a couple of walks, and Smith has dug himself a little bit of a hole. High fastball taken, strike one.
Infield has come in on the corners, but right now Jesse Smith is pitching for a strikeout.
Kyle Jones, the left-handed hitter, third base side, sliced foul. 0-2, and for the first time in quite a while, Smith is ahead of a batter. Jones, the DH, followed by Derek Fox here in the second. No score. Stompers threatening in a huge way. Smith paints the outside, does not get the call. 1-2. Ooh, that was close.
Close pitch there. That's a good setup pitch now. He's got Jones thinking.
Jones sets in, kind of got the happy feet going. Here's the 1-2. Same pitch, 2-2.
Same spot. Jones lays off both pitches.
Two. Sliced again, this time out onto Anderson Drive and over into the parking lot. Sixth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Jones is hacking. He's just a little late on everything.
He is.
Here it is. 2-2 is very high, and he has another full count.
And it will be interesting to see if Smith challenges him here with a fastball or if he tries to fool him and go off speed with the changeup.
So he goes full to McAlpine. Then he walks Reed Chenworth on 4 pitches. Now he's full again against Jones. Here it is. Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, and that was a bit of a gift. I believe that may have been a little too low, and had Jones not swung, Alex, I think that was going to be ball 4.
The way Bennessy has been calling it tonight, that looked like ball 4. But Smith's able to get Jones to chase, and that was a huge strikeout.
2 hits and 2 walks so far. It's like a waxing gibbous up there in the southern sky. Derek Fox, 9-hole hitter with a man out, 3 on. Sliders inside. Ball 1. Aritz Garcia is due up next. Next pitch to Derek Fox is fouled away. 1-1 here on Marin TV.
And anything hit on the ground, it's going to be tough to double up Fox as he gets out of the box pretty quickly with his speed.
People still coming in to the stadium here at Albert Park. A fastball is right in there, 1-2. And Smith pitching for the strikeout here, Alex. No question about it.
Oh, yeah, he's trying to pull the Houdini.
Infield is in at the corners. The Houdini being bases loaded, nobody out. Trying to keep it from anybody scoring. This is fouled back. We'll do it again, 1-2. Smith has given up 2 earned runs. Had 5 strikeouts a week ago. Check swing. Got him. So Fox goes around just enough. And Kevin Bennessy rings him up, Alex, and that's 2 down. And Smith, that's a huge step forward. Because now he'll play at any base, and that can relax the corner infielders.
He's going to have to face the hottest hitter in Garcia. He's going to be a tough out.
Fly ball picked up by Evan Boyd over at short last time up. Smith stays away from him. Ball 1.
But that's the beauty of having such great command when you're Smith and you're a veteran like that. You can go to that off-speed pitch and use that as a strikeout pitch. Fox wasn't able to hold up.
Jace Ray, who had a double last, he's on deck. Fly ball into the gap in right center. Coming in to score easily is Gavlik, and right behind him is McAlpine. And very quickly, the Stompers lead 2-0. Reed Chenworth moves over to third base, and Aritz Garcia to first. So runners at the corners, 2 away, 2 in now, and that's huge. Here's Jace Ray. Ray with a double out to left. Last time up, ran under the fence. First hit of the night. His last AB, left-handed batter, as you can see. First pitch swinging over to second. Scooped up by Kiriakos to first, but not before the damage is done. Ray hits into the 4-3. But here in the top of the second, Alex, it looks like there were 2 hits, 2 walks, and 2 runs scored. A couple strikeouts. We'll go bottom of the second inning. Michael Hoba will lead off for the Center Fells. Matt Cavanaugh will bat second. And Zach Pace, when we come back on Marin TV's coverage of the 2014 Pacifics. We'll be right back.
Marin TV.
Michael Ova will lead off for the Santa Fells here in the bottom of the second inning. A 2-0 lead for the visiting Sonoma Stompers. Hoba batting 111 with a couple RBIs. Takes a fastball on the inside part of the plate. Strike one called. He'll be followed by Matt Cavanaugh and Zach Pace. The 4, 5, 6 batters. After Gabriel Garcia was able to get through the first 3 pretty simply there in the first. Fastball's low. 1-1.
And that's the last thing the Pacifics wanted to do, was to give this man Garcia an early lead.
Garcia with the high reach. Fly ball popped up right here in front of us. I had to look straight up there, Alex. I didn't know if it was going to get to us or not. Chased down by McAlpine, the catcher, but he couldn't catch up to it. So 1-2, we'll do it again. In the bottom of the second inning, here at Albert Park. A little bit blustery. Off in the distance, the southwestern sky, a big fog bank. I imagine Sausalito is completely enshrouded. And a line drive over to second. Derek Fox to his right and easily hauls it in, 1 away. Boy, looked like Hova hit it hard. He just hit it right at Fox.
Nothing you could do about that. You hit it on the screw. Sometimes it's right at somebody. Sometimes it finds a gap. Unfortunately for Hova, it was right at Fox.
So here comes Matt Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh's second year with the Pacifics. It's been great behind the plate. Just great. Garcia comes home to the left-handed Cavanaugh. Takes outside Black. Strike one called. 1 away here with Zach Pace on deck. Cavanaugh ready to go. Swings at a breaking ball and cues it foul. Third base side, 0-2. Very quickly, Garcia ahead in the count.
And there's that great breaking ball by Garcia. Cavanaugh missed a lot of last season with that hamstring injury. He says he feels great. He's back in the squat, and he looks to do damage.
Yeah, he missed a full month of the season last year. And that's tough when the season's only 3 months long. 0-2. Oh, indoors. Had him buckling out of the way. 1-2. Pretty comfortable out here, actually. I know it's at 61, the Warm Wishes game time temperature. But that was, that was 45 minutes ago, and it still feels pretty nice. Still got the shirt sleeves. That is yours truly. Here's the next pitch. Fly ball into center. To his right is Ray. And he reaches up and makes a pretty easy grab. 2 away.
It's really tough to hit Garcia hard. He doesn't make too many mistakes, and he's kind of pitching for that fly ball, and it's tough to find a gap.
2 down now. And Garcia has retired 5 in a row. Here's Zach Pace as Garcia wants a new game ball. So he'll rough it up. And Pace will step in. Pace batting .375. One of the hottest hitters on the Pacific's lineup. The lefty deals, and a fastball is taken, strike one. Chase Fontaine is on deck. Pace takes a slider low. 1-1.
In the way Cavanaugh and Pace are swinging the back, DePace likes to stack those two right behind each other to set it up for Fontaine as he's starting to find his swing.
Garcia comes home. Pace, hacked foul, and I think it hit him in the foot. 1-2. Shout out to Mozart Whitney, one of our viewers out there somewhere. East San Rafael, as a matter of fact. Pace, 1-2. Swung on and just caught just the tiniest piece of it. We'll do it again.
And it's so hard when a hitter falls behind Garcia in the count with that nasty changeup and breaking ball. He can pinpoint his location.
Tuesday night at the ballpark. Not a bad crowd on hand. But Tuesday's always tough. Pace had a breaking ball. Swings and misses. And Garcia, Alex, has gotten the Pacifics 6 up and 6 down. That's pretty impressive stuff from Gabriel Garcia. And after 2 complete, the Pacifics trail by a score of 2-0. Coming up for the visiting Stompers, Steve Renato, Matt Marquise, and TJ Gavlik. And we'll have it for you right here on Marin TV's coverage of the 2014 Pacifics. We'll be right back.
You're watching Marin TV.
Steve Renato will lead things off for the visiting Stompers. And on the play-by-play, well, wait a minute. Renato's first pitch swinging over to third, scooped up by the covering Troy Zawadski. And one pitch, one out. And Renato is gone. Now on the play-by-play is my partner, Alex Swan.
Thank you, Stu. We're not used to seeing Renato swing first pitch early in the count. He's really attacked Smith aggressively. And Zawadski made a nice play recovering from that error. And that's going to bring up Matt Marquise with nobody on. He struck out in his first at-bat in the first inning. First pitch to Marquise is a strike on the outside corner. Smith trying to work quickly this inning. Marquise, 318, 7 RBIs on the season. As Smith deals to Marquise, and a big breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 2.
Wow, that really had Kevin Bennessy kind of locked up. It was a late call, but it was such a massive breaker that he had to think about it for a moment. Everybody did.
Including Marquis. That had him completely frozen. 0-2, as that's in the dirt. Gavlik's on deck for the injured Joel Carranza, who was hurt beating out a throw from Zawadzki in the first inning. Smith is set. 1-2 to Marquis. Chopped. Foul.
Not by much. It was just a big high chopper right off the plate. Zawadzki to his right, and he fielded it and fired it over to first. I think he had a sense that it was close to being foul, and it was just a foot or so because it was right at the bag when it came down.
Marquise took out of the box thinking it was fair. They'll do it again. 1-2 to Marquise, and they got him. 2 down in the inning, as that's going to bring up TJ Gavlik.
How good was that? Smith kind of humped up, held back the devastating fastball, held it back, and then when he had the chance to put him away, kind of brought it up a little bit, speed-wise.
Gavlik scored a run on Garcia's single in the first. And the first pitch to Gavlik is a strike at the knees. Gavlik spent a little time in the Frontier League. He's only played 1 year in the pros. Batted .224. 0-1 to Gavlik is fouled straight back. 0-2.
Seemed like Gavlik was right on top of that last pitch.
Renato grounded out to third. Marquise struck out. 0-2 to Gavlik. On the ground, Orphis has got it. He'll take it to first himself. In a 1-2-3 inning for Jesse Smith.
Hey, how about that?
Fontaine's going to lead it off for the Pacifics, followed by Zawadzki and Charlie Stewart. When we come back from CMCM TV, it's 2-0 Stompers.
You're watching Marin TV.
All right, everybody, and we are back at Albert Park. Stuart Horn and Alex Swan, your 2014 Pacifics telecasters. And it's an absolutely beautiful night here at the ballpark. A nearly full moon over center field. Chase Fontaine At the plate and on the play-by-play, here's Alex Swan.
Garcia hasn't surrendered a hit or a base runner yet. Fontaine trying to break up his rhythm and get him into the stretch as he takes a fastball high. Fontaine batting .105 with 1 home run and 4 RBIs on the year, all coming last game against the Metal. Trying to get out of a little bit of a funk as he grounds one foul down the right field line. 1-1. Stompers are coming off a series against the Vallejo Admirals where they took 2 out of 3. The Pacific split their series with the Metal as they played a short 2-game series. The 1-1 to Fontaine is a strike at the knees. Fontaine wasn't too sold on that one.
Fontaine's one of those guys got power away.
And that's where he hit his home run. 1-2 to Fontaine as he lays off the off-speed. 2-2.
Yeah, the home run against the Metal a couple of nights ago that hit the left fielder's glove and popped over the wall. Of course, 2 grand slams last year, 1 a walk-off, both over the left field wall.
2-2 to Fontaine, and it's drilled to right, but foul.
And just as I say his power is opposite field, he turned so beautifully, just a little too much, because he had a lot into that one. But in the 3 years I've been watching Fontaine with the Pacifics, I don't remember him knocking one out over the right field wall.
And he got him swinging. Garcia humped it up, went with a fastball across the letters, and there's 1 down.
Yeah, that was kind of high cheese right there. He did hump up, and he left it up in the zone. And I think if Fontaine were to see that on film, he would think, I wonder why I went at the high heater, but that's it. It was so fast, he had even less time to decide. And those high fastballs look so good.
So here's Troy Zawatsky. He's hitless on the season as he takes a fastball low for ball 1. And he's been in replacement for Ryan Priddy, the third baseman, as the Pacifics are trying to get him back. As he says, he's only about a day or 2 out, so they'll need his presence. Zawatsky on the ground. This is Gavlik. He'll take it himself for 2 away in the inning. And now Charlie Stewart will come to the plate. And he's hitless as well. 8 retired in a row for Gabriel Garcia.
Stewart's still looking for a batting average.
And he'll try to break up Garcia's no-hitter. So far, he's been in complete command. First pitch to Stewart is in the dirt.
Friday night fans, they're going to have a special guest appearance here at the ballpark by Jerry Mathers. You know who that is, Alex?
You got to fill me in. Who is
It's the
Jerry
Beeve.
Mathers?
It's the Beeve.
Oh, the Beeve. The Beaver, as Stewart swings and misses. I'm looking forward to that. That's a packed weekend. We got that on Friday. Father's Day game on Sunday, afternoon game.
5:05 on Saturday. There's always promotions going on. It seems like every night is, beer mug night or sweater night, batting jersey night the other night.
That's in the dirt to Stewart, 2-1.
I got my batting jersey, of course.
You picked up the jersey?
Oh, yeah.
I got my mug. That's what I'm looking forward to, filling that up with some brew. 2-1 to Stewart as he's looking for his first hit of the season. He's able to lay off the off speed. 3-1. Top of the order would be next with David Kiriakos if this inning prolongs. And he walked him. First base runner allowed for Gabriel Garcia, and he will be in the stretch as Charlie Stewart's able to get on base.
Let's see how he handles being in the stretch. He hasn't, as you mentioned, he hasn't been there all night. And Garcia's not happy. And I don't know if he's displeased with himself or with Kevin Bennessy, the home plate umpire. But either way, he's going to have to contend with Charlie Stewart over at first base. As you mentioned, the first base runner.
Kiriakos only batting 95 on the season, no RBIs. This is a man that the Pacifics will need to get going. First pitch to him is popped up to left field. Chenworth's got a beat on it, and he'll put it away. One pitch, one out. 3 down in the order. And for the Stompers, they'll bring to the plate Gavlik, McAlpine, and Chenworth. In the top of the fourth, it's the Pacifics nothing, the Stompers 2. Here on CMCM TV, we'll be right back.
You're watching Marin TV. You're watching Marin TV.
McAlpine, Thomas McAlpine will lead off here in the top of the fourth inning. He'll be followed by Reed Chenworth and Kyle Jones. It's 2-0 in favor of the visiting Sonoma Stompers here at Albert Park. And now just a sliver of sunlight left on the field, Alex. And funny, the wind has changed. It's now coming in over the left field wall. Something you don't see very often here.
Not at all. Wind's changing a little tides.
McAlpine batting .231. Couple of RBIs. Second AB, he walked back in the second inning and ended up scoring a run. McAlpine, a power threat. He's just got the power hitter slugger build. Kind of like Alex Swan. Just looks like a big slugger. First pitch. Hacking foul for McAlpine.
He swings the bat like a power hitter. When he does swing the bat, he's got a good eye too. But you don't want him to get into one.
Back in the second inning when he walked, he took Jesse Smith full and then made Smith pay by scoring the run. Sliders in the dirt. And a check swing is called a strike. 0-2.
McAlpine couldn't hold up. A good slider there by Smith.
That's the second close check swing that Kevin Bennessy has called a strike. So here's the 0-2. Smith has room to waste one, and he gets him with a splitter. What a tremendous pitch as McAlpine swings right over the top of it. And here's Reed Chenworth with one away.
That was nasty. That had a lot of bite to it. McAlpine just could not find wood to that baseball.
Smith is one of those guys with so much self-confidence that being down 2-0 early, he's the last guy to worry about it and panic. Chenworth stands in. Chenworth swings over the top of a breaking ball, strike one. Back in the second inning, he also walked.
And it looks like Smith's got his command now. He's in a good rhythm.
The big right-hander kicks and deals. Inside fastball, a little too far inside, 1-1. Kyle Jones is scheduled to bat next. For now, though, Chenworth. Chenworth, the left fielder, batting 100 coming into tonight's action. And a sharp grounder over to second, scooped up by Kiriakos on a knee, and he rips it over to first base, covering his orifice in plenty of time after all of that. What an acrobatic play that was by Kiriakos, 2 away.
Unbelievable. I can't speak enough of how much range Kiriakos has. Going to his left, slides down, able to turn around, not rush the throw from his knees, and able to get Chenworth. Even though Kiriakos hasn't been getting it going with his bat just yet, his glove has been magnificent so far during the season.
By the way, throw a 360 in there in the middle of that whole thing, which he had to do. Kyle Jones, the designated hitter from the left side, takes a fastball. That little tail that Smith has that moves away from a left-handed batter is a little high, ball one. Derek Fox is on deck. Jones, a strikeout victim, back in the second. And he swings at a splitter. 1-1. 2 down here in the top of the fourth. Still 2-0 after the Stompers threw up a pair back in the second. Fastball is on the outside part of the plate. Called a strike, 1-2. Smith has a couple of different fastballs. One's kind of a straight fastball, mid-80s, and then that low 90s hump it up fastball that has a little tail on it. This is fouled out on Anderson Drive. And we'll do it again, 1-2. And it's a nice thing that you can mix them up. The mid or low to mid 80s fastball, let's call that fastball A, looks more like a changeup. And, of course, Smith has a changeup.
Which makes it so deceptive because he comes with the same arm angle.
That's exactly right. Here's the 1-2. And now here was fastball B. It was a little bit faster, and he was able to keep it down, and it was swung on and fouled away. And 1-2 again. We are happy to report that Marin TV's replay feature that we saw last telecast for the first time is in effect, and we're going to get a chance to view it hopefully right now.
It's back. Calhoun wants to bring the replay back.
That's great. I know that it was a big hit. So the Stompers go down 1-2-3 here in the top of the fourth inning, and with any luck at all, we're going to see the instant replay of that final strike. Well, I don't know if it's so much luck as it is technological process. So let's just see if before we go to break, we can see the replay of the strikeout against Kyle Jones.
There we go.
And here it is, fans. So back by popular demand, the instant replay of the final out of each inning. And here's the pitch to Kyle Jones, and there it was. Well, that's a lot of excitement. That's a big buildup for one pitch. Coming up for the good old San Rafael Pacifics in the bottom of the fourth inning, it'll be Evan Boyd, Mike Orifice, and Michael Hoba, the 2-3-4 batters for the San Rafaels. Bottom four coming up 2-0 Stompers. We'll be right back on Marin TV.
You're watching Marin TV.
Bottom of the fourth inning. Stompers still leading 2-0. Horn and Swan on Marin TV's coverage of the 2014 Pacifics. Evan Boyd stands in. He checks at the first pitch, and I think it fouled off of his bat and hit him right in the foot. A fastball hits kind of high by his hands.
Into the check to see if that left foot was okay. That's tough. That was up and in and hit the end of his bat.
Whatever part of the bat it hit him in the foot, and it did so at a very sharp angle, going a high rate of speed. Traveling at a very high rate of speed. Next pitch is inside at the knees. 1-1. Way back in the second inning is when the Stompers did their damage. After Jesse Smith gave up a hit and a walk, and he had the bases loaded with nobody out. And then he was able to get 2 down. And for a second there, Alex, I thought, he might get out of this. A little Houdini action. But he did cough up a pair, as it turns out. But that's all. Here's the 1-1 to the shortstop, Evan Boyd. A breaking ball just flops in there. What a beautiful pitch by Garcia. 1-2. Mike Orifice on deck here in the bottom of the fourth. Boyd leading off. Stands in, and another breaking ball is fouled over to the Pacific's dugout.
Garcia goes back-to-back breaking balls with perfect location. And any time a pitcher can get ahead of a hitter going off speed, you always got to think in the back of your mind that the fastball is going to be coming eventually.
A little bit chilly out here tonight. Just brisk, not uncomfortably cool. Garcia comes home 1-2 and lunging for it, and Boyd never looked comfortable the whole AB. One away.
And that's his second strikeout, and he's just not seeing Garcia well. Lefty-lefty matchup.
Fourth strikeout. Oh, second for Boyd. I see what you're saying.
And it's tough for a lefty to pick up another lefty, and he went curveball, slider, and that was enough.
Had him lunging way outside. Yeah, I got to believe the foul ball off the foot was weighing heavily on his mind. He seemed uncomfortable. Here's Mike Orifice. Pop out over to Derek Fox at second base, his last at-bat. And he takes ball one. Mike Alhoba is on deck. Gabriel Garcia, the lefty, comes home. And a fastball is poured in 1-1.
And Orifice kind of turns back to Bennessy and thought that was a tad bit low.
Orifice, one of the nicest guys you would ever want to meet. Always takes time to play with the kids before the games. 1-1. And a little bit outside. 2-1. He plays this goofy game with the kids who stand above the dugout. And they love Orifice. So they want to hang out and goof around with him. Here's a line drive up the middle. Fox to his right, off balance, and Orifice beats it out. And the Pacifics have a base runner.
And that shows Orifice's speed right there for a first baseman. He can get out of the box quickly, tapped it up the middle. Fox had to go off-balance throw that led Gavlik up the line. But anytime you can get on for the guy up now, Michael Hova, good things can happen.
One away, and the 2012 MVP, Michael Hova, who had a 37-game hitting streak that year, stands in. Fastball is low.
And he was a little sick yesterday. Back in action, though, in uniform tonight. Feels good. Was able to suit it up.
Kavanaugh's on deck with one away. Orifice, the runner at first. After the infield hit up the middle. Fouled off of the mask of McAlpine. 1-1.
And Garcia knows Hova loves the high fastball. He's a good high ball hitter, and he's doing a good job of keeping it down.
I've said it a million times. Hova never met a high fastball he didn't like. And if he gets one, you'll see what I mean, because he can hit it a ton. Here's the 1-1. Right down the heart of the plate. At the knees, strike two called. Hova batting 111 coming into the action tonight.
And DePace just said it's a matter of time before he gets hot, and I agree with him.
Hit a line drive to Fox's second, back in the second. Here's a chopper up the middle. Over to Garcia at second. On to Gavlik at first. A double play. Hova hits into the 6-4-3 inning ender, and that hurts. Well, in the bottom of the fourth, we had one hit, and that was Orifice, and that's about it. In the top of the fifth inning, it will be the 9-hole hitter, second baseman Derek Fox, followed by Aritz Garcia and Jace Ray. My partner Alex Swan will be back on the play-by-play. You are watching Marin TV's coverage of the 2014 Pacifics. We'll be right back.
You're watching Marin TV.
Derek Fox will lead off for Sonoma here in the fifth inning. A strikeout victim back in the second. And on the play-by-play is Alex Swan.
Thank you, Stu.
You're welcome, sir.
Just like my partner mentioned, Fox K'd up in the second. 2-0 Stompers. Smith's going to try to contain him with those only 2 runs. Top of the fifth, it'll be Fox, Garcia, and Ray. As Fox fouls one high and back onto Anderson Drive. Fox with his wide stance. opens up a little bit. Here's the pitch to him, and he pops it, a high fly ball. Coming in is Stewart, and he'll put it away. One down in the inning as Aritz Garcia, the man with 2 RBIs on the single in the second inning, will step to the plate.
Kind of a relaxed out there, a relaxed swing, and a relaxed, easy 2-pitch out for Jesse. Jesse Smith, of course, the right-hander for the Center Fells.
That's 4 in a row retired for Jesse Smith as he paints a fastball in at the knees for strike 1, and he wants a new baseball.
7 in a row, the way I count it.
Correct. That is 7 in a row.
But in the middle of that, I guess you're right as well. 4 in a row. You can't have 7 in a row without having 4 in a row.
That's very true.
So I think we were both correct, as it turns out.
0-1 to Garcia, tries to bunt, and this is going to squirt foul. As Zawadzki was playing back at third, and Garcia had the right idea.
He really did. He turned, he squared up late, and it actually landed fair, but it had so much side spin on it, it got out of here in a hurry. That is, out of fair territory, not out of here. I don't remember the last time I saw a guy squared a bunt and it went out of here in the traditional sense, because out of here is usually reserved for a home run.
Especially Mr. Kuiper of the Giants. 0-2 to Garcia. Smith looks in, and Garcia asks for time. Smith's waiting. Garcia's back in the box. And the 0-2 pitch is another high fly ball. Boyd calling everybody off at short, and there's 2 away in the inning. And now Jesse Smith has officially found a groove right now.
I would agree with that. 8 in a row after that awkward second where 7 men batted and 2 of them scored. But he's been aces since then.
He has. Jace Ray steps into the box. He had a double in the first inning down the left field line as he takes a strike. And the rhythm that Jesse Smith has developed has been getting ahead of hitters with first pitch strikes.
Ray's capable. A double back in the first. Hit it real hard.
0-1 to Ray, and a swing and a miss as Smith blew it by him.
Alex, there's that fastball B. It's the low 90s fastball. And when it's up in the zone, it looks good, but by the time your brain registers that it looks good, it's past you.
0-2 to Ray, and this is fisted out into left field, a base hit. As he's able to fight it off, and he goes the opposite field once again.
Just a bloop over Boyd's head.
And that's going to bring up Steve Renato after Ray's 2-out knock. Renato had 4 RBIs in the second game of this series when the Stompers and the Pacifics faced off in the opening series at Albert Park. He's a tough out. Smith's in the stretch for the first time in a while. And the runner goes. And he got a great jump, and there's going to be no throw from Kavanaugh as he steals it easily.
It was a good pitch to go on as well. It was down. Kavanaugh had to scoop it out of the dirt, and by the time he came up with it, Ray had it stolen. Got a great jump, and he just happened to get the right pitch.
0-1 to Renato. And just a little inside, 1-1. That's Ray's 4th stolen base against the Pacifics. And he was leading off before Aritz Garcia got moved into the leadoff spot. And he's a good base runner, reads pitchers very well. 1-1 to Renato. And it's in there at the knees, 1-2. Ray at second. Renato waits. And he looked like he went around on the curveball. Kavanaugh wants an appeal, and he doesn't get it from Garrett Wells.
I am really surprised. Really surprised.
From the first two check swing appeals that we saw called strikes, that one looked like the most obvious one.
I would totally agree with that statement. That one, that particular check swing, he seemed to go around much further than the other two.
So Renato gets second life. 2-2 now. Got him. Doesn't matter. Renato strikes out swinging anyways. Smith is through 5, only giving up 2 runs. Pacifics are coming up. It's going to be Kavanaugh, Pace, and Fontaine.
Now, don't forget, we have...
And we do have the replay.
Yes, we do have the replay coming up. This is very exciting, fans, for those of you who watched the other night. Just a few nights ago, we debuted this new feature from Marin TV, the not-so-instant replay. I like to call it instant replay, but in reality, it's not totally instant. But here it is, fans. Give you a chance to re-witness the magic of Jesse Smith with that third strike to Renato. Got him again. All right, we are going to the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's still a 2-run ball game. Pacifics will be sending up Matt Kavanaugh, Zach Pace, and Chase Fontaine, and we'll have it for you right here live on Marin TV. We'll be right back.
You're watching Marin TV.
All right, everybody, and we are back in the bottom of the 5th inning. Stuart Horn, yours truly, and Alex Swan, my wonderful sidekick, here at Albert Park. And with the play-by-play, here is Alex Swan.
It's going to be Matt Kavanaugh to lead it off, and he swings and misses at a breaking ball. Garcia's been in command. He's only given up 1 hit, and it was an infield hit to Orifice. Oh, 0-1. Now 0-2.
Just flopped a big breaking ball in. Great pitch selection. Garcia's had the center fells off balance all night. When you look at that picture on your television screen, you can see the difference. What you're looking at now is really what the lighting is like. It's rather dark out here, though the lights are on.
In the 0-2 to Kavanaugh, misses for ball 1.
When they go to the wide shot, that right there in particular, it makes it look like the sun is out, and this angle as well. But in fact, it's much darker than that, and a fog bank is looming just over the left field wall that I suspect will be here by game's end.
1-2 to Kavanaugh is hit down the line, foul. And we'll do it again.
We have had some foggy nights here at the ballpark. And every once in a while, maybe 2 or 3 games last season, 2 or 3 year one, where the fog comes in so heavily that you can't even see the hills out over the right field wall in Southern Heights.
And Kavanaugh is down swinging as he foul tipped it into McAlpine's glove. 5 strikeouts now for Gabriel Garcia. And he is cruising. Pace is going to come up. He also struck out in the second. And the Pacifics are just trying to get Gabriel Garcia out of this rhythm.
Pace is a real favorite of the fans here at Albert Park. 3-year Pacific.
On the ground, foul past Gavlik.
Handled center field so beautifully since day one. And it's not the easiest center field in the world. You got a softball diamond out there, and you have to negotiate the dirt of that diamond and the grass that surrounds it.
The 0-1 is high as Pace bluffed a bunt to even the count at 1-1. You see 0. There we go. There's the count, 1-1 on your screens at home. Pace is trying to get on for Fontaine. Here's the 1-1. And a breaking ball at the knees called for strike 2.
How about that? Just about a 75-mile-an-hour devastating slider.
Well, it starts up around the letters and just paints right around the knees. 1-2 to Pace, and it's chopped foul.
Pace was looking fastball, got fastball, and just turned on it a little early. He has a real quick bat.
And he will battle. 375 on the year, right behind Kavanaugh's 462. Doesn't strike out often. Got to protect here, though. 1-2 from Garcia, and he got him swinging.
Change up.
So back-to-back strikeouts for Gabriel Garcia as there's 2 down in the 5th.
Now batting for your Pacifics, Chase Fontaine.
Chase Fontaine will make his way up. He struck out in the 3rd. First pitch to Fontaine is low. Fontaine, 111 on the season. 1 home run, 4 RBIs, and he hits one very well. Deep center field, way on the move, not going to get it. It's up against the wall. Fontaine is going to go for 2, and he's got a lead double. And he hit that very hard over Ray.
It was just perfectly placed in the gap right up against the fence. And doesn't matter how good a range that Jace Ray has. There's no way he's going to get to it. I mean, he was on his horse. Ray was in center field, moving over into that gap in right center, and Marquise to his right couldn't catch up to it. And by the time they dug it out of the bottom of the fence, Fontaine had powered his way into second base. What I love about that is that Fontaine generated a lot of power into right field, which he normally does not do. He usually goes away for power.
So here's Troy Zawatsky with the runner in scoring position. Up the middle, and it gets by Garcia, base hit. Fontaine's going to come around. Here's the throw from Ray, and it's high. Zawatsky goes to second with his first hit of the season. It's an RBI, and the Pacifics are on the board.
How about that? He has a batting average, and more importantly, an RBI at a time when the Pacifics really needed it.
So they finally get to Gabriel Garcia. And Charlie Stewart also seeking for his first hit. We'll try to bring in Zawatsky.
Charlie Stewart.
Third hit of the night for the San Rafaels on the first pitch there, by the way, Zawadsky.
Zawadsky wasn't waiting around. Chopper to Fox. Swinging on the first pitch again. That will retire the side. Fontaine doubles. Then Zawadsky has a base hit up the middle to get the Pacifics on the board. They trail by 1. When we come back after this replay, it will be Marquis, Gavlik, and McAlpine, and we get the signal that there will be no replay.
So we'll be right back on Marin TV, and after the break, coming up for the Stompers, it'll be Matt Marquis, TJ Gavlik, and Thomas McAlpine. Top 6 coming up, 2-1. San Rafael trails by only 1. We'll be right back.
You're watching Marin TV. You're watching Marin TV.
Matt Marquis will lead things off here in the top of the 6th inning. Jesse Smith working very quickly, and the first pitch is a breaking ball, fouled back to the parking lot. It'll be Marquis, Gavlik, and McAlpine, with the Stompers leading 2-1. Pacifics were able to cut the lead in half after the double by Chase Fontaine and the subsequent RBI by Zawadsky. 0-1 delivery is up the middle. Smith can't get to it, but the Pacific second baseman David Kiriakos can. And he throws over to Orifice in plenty of time. 1 away.
I think that worked out that Smith didn't touch that baseball. Fielded cleanly by Kiriakos.
Yeah, instinctively he wanted to get a piece of it, but you're right. Had he done that, that would have only slowed it up and made it an even more difficult play for Kiriakos. Here's Gavlik. Gavlik with a run scored. Back in the second, and he pops it up 1.5 miles in the air, and Boyd gloves it easily. 2 down.
Thomas McAlpine.
That's exactly what you want if you're Smith. 2 quick outs, trying to retire the side and get your team back up after they just played it a run.
McAlpine with a walk back in the second, a run scored. He struck out in the fourth. Left-handed batter against the right-handed ace of the San Rafael staff. And a big curveball flops in, but a little bit high, ball 1. Reed Chenworth is on deck here in the 6th. Both teams with 3 hits. McAlpine takes a fastball on the outside part of the plate. 1-1. Friday night, Jerry Mathers is here at the ballpark. Come out and meet the Beeve. Fastball is ripped into right field, a base hit. McAlpine stops at first. And with 2 down, the Stompers have a base runner. Reed Chenworth
Now batting for Sonoma.
will do his best to knock him in.
And Smith left up fastball a little bit up. McAlpine did well to turn on it.
Chenworth with a walk. Back in the second, stranded at third base. Then a ground ball to Kiriakos in the fourth. And he takes ball 1. Kyle Jones is on deck. Smith, a quick look over to McAlpine at first, but not a threat to steal. The fastball is swung on and missed, and it gets past the catcher Kavanaugh. And McAlpine on the pass ball heads down to second base.
That's unlikely for Kavanaugh. He's doing a great job throughout the season, blocking a lot of pitches in the dirt. You don't see many get by him.
So now McAlpine is in scoring position. And Chenworth is even in the count 1-1. Smith is going to have to get crafty. Smith 1-0 on the season with that opening night victory over the Stompers. And of the 3 games they played against the Stompers last week, that was the only night they won. Check swing held up 2-1. Not a ton of fans here, but not a bad crowd either. Tuesday night, about average. Smith comes home. Fly ball to center. Now the wind's got it and moves it over to right. Hoba comes down with it after all. And Jesse Smith gets out of it. And that one is going to look really nice on our instant replay, on our replay.
And that was a long run for Hova. They were playing Chenworth pretty deep and right. And fortunate for Hova in the Pacifics, the ball got hung up in the wind and he was able to come in and make the play.
Yeah, as it turns out, Kyle Jones was left on deck. And we're going to bring you the replay of that nice catch by the right fielder, Michael Hoba. And here it is. And there it is. You can see the wind gets it and brings it over to right field. When we come back in the bottom of the 6th inning, the top of the order, it'll be David Kiriakos, Evan Boyd, and Mike Orifice. It's 2-1 Stompers. We'll be right back.
You're watching Marin TV.
Stuart Horn with you here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Still 2-1 on Marin TV. Happy to be here, folks. Awaiting the arrival of the fog bank. He squares to bunt. It goes back to the pitcher. Garcia spins and gets it off to first in plenty of time. Kiriakos goes down. Not a bad bunt, but Garcia falls off the mound to the third base side. And the bunt really didn't bite as hard as Kiriakos would have liked. And it ended up in a perfect position for Garcia to field it. So one away. Here's Evan Boyd. 2 strikeouts on the night. A breaking ball, looked like a slider, is down low. 1-0. Mike Orifice is on deck. Here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Boyd fouls it back to the screen. 1-1. A strikeout in the first and a strikeout in the fourth. And Boyd would love to make up for those. Another slider low, 2-1.
And Garcia continues to stay off speed and away with Boyd. It feels like he doesn't see the spin much coming off of his hand.
That fog bank is looming. Here's the 2-1, and he ripped it opposite field. Diving for it was the shortstop, Aritz Garcia, but he couldn't get to it. It ends up in left field. Reed Chenworth grabs it, and Evan Boyd has his first hit of the night, Alex, and that was big.
And he was able to go opposite way. Didn't try to do too much and pull it. Poked it into left field. Almost a heck of a play by Garcia.
Orifice, 1 for 2 on the night. Part of that 6-4-3 double play that Hoba hit into. He chops it back to the pitcher. He goes to second for 1. On the way to first. And it was initially looked like going to be called a double play by Garrett Wells. But the bobble over at first by TJ Gavlik. And Orifice is alive. And they're just going to call that a fielder's choice after all that. Boyd is out on his way to second. And I think it's just because Gavlik bobbled it a tiny bit on the back end of that play.
And
2 down.
Gavlik not used to playing first base.
Here's Hoba. 2-1, Pacific's trail. He takes a fastball outside third of the plate. That's a nice pitch. Down around the knees, strike 1. Matt Cavanaugh's on deck here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Hoba, I was talking to him before the game tonight as McAlpine heads out for a word with Garcia. And I said, hey, Michael, I saw you on the back of a Muni bus today because, of course, the Pacifics have an advertising campaign with the buses. And I was at a stoplight, and there he was on the back of the bus. And he laughed, and he's just such... Hoba is one of the most kind gentlemen I've ever met in my life until you put a bat in his hands. And then he's just a bloodthirsty assassin And here's what I mean. He rips it out into right field, but moving to his right is Matt Marquise. And the nice, gentle Cuban, Michael Hoba, is the third out. And while we await the replay on Hoba's out there, when you come to the ballpark, a lot of kids line up, they want Hoba's autograph, but if you get a chance to talk to him, you'll see what I mean. He's just one of the nicest guys that ever lived.
And he's so humble. I get to the banquet dinner. First story I'm told is how Michael Hoba comes to America and how he can play for the Pacifics. He's one heck of a guy. He's a great baseball player. And when you're the 2012 MVP, you deserve to have your face on the back of a bus.
I would agree with that. When we come back, fans, in the top of the seventh inning, it'll be Kyle Jones, Derek Fox, and Aritz Garcia as we relive the moment on the CMCM replay. Isn't that beautiful? I love the replay. Top seven coming up, fans. It's 2-1, Pacific's Trail. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're watching Marin TV.
Leading off the seventh for Sonoma.
All right, everybody, we are in the top of the seventh inning. It's a 2-1 ball game in favor of the visiting Stompers, and on the play-by-play is my trusty sidekick, Alex Swan.
And to lead it off, it will be Kyle Jones, who struck out his last at-bat. Smith's trying to work his way through the seventh, and his first pitch to Jones is a strike. He went 7 last time he faced the Stompers. He earned the win. He had given up 4, only 1 earned run in that matchup, as Jones fouls it straight back 0-2. Only 4 hits given up by Jesse Smith, and just 2 runs back in the second inning.
Smith is one of those guys that seems to get better as the game goes on.
And that's what we expect from the veteran and the ace of this staff. He's ahead to Jones 0-2. As the slider is in the dirt.
You never know. Some people would say, well, that's a waste pitch, but, you know, a batter who's protecting that 0-2, they've been known to go down in the dirt if it looks good before it drops out of the zone. I think that was a good choice. Nobody on, might as well throw in the dirt.
And he got him looking. Curveball froze Jones, and there's 1 away in the top of the seventh.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Smith is so strong and getting better 7 innings into it.
Derek Fox in the 9-hole. He flied out to Stewart in his last at-bat, as he fouls one down the left field line into Anderson Drive.
Broken glass, fix it fast with Marin Auto Glass.
Aritz Garcia's on deck. Smith's 0-1 is in tight to Fox, 1-1. And he fouls one off his foot, 1-2. Smith's pitch count not too high. He had 5 walks against the Stompers in his first matchup. Only 2 tonight. It'll be 1-2 to Fox when he steps in. Smith's hit the belt and delivers, and it's chopped high to Kiriakos. He's got to hurry, and he does, to get the speedy Fox. 2 down.
How about that play from Kiriakos over at second? He had to play back on the ball because it was chopped and it was just in between. So he backed up on it and then had to fire from deep in the hole. And made a very difficult play look pretty easy.
And here's Aritz Garcia, born in Spain, and he had an opportunity to participate in a camp in Europe as he swings and misses at the first pitch from Smith. And that was coached by Barry Larkin. And now that we see Aritz Garcia at the top of the order batting over 400 for the Stompers, that camp probably did him well. 0-1 to Garcia's in tight.
Ooh.
Just missed off the inside of the plate. Smith wanted it. 1-1.
Boy, you're not kidding. In that case, Garcia crowding a little bit. Smith came indoors on him, and I think he placed it exactly where he wanted it and just didn't get the call for whatever reason.
On the ground, hit hard to Zawadzki. He's got it on 2 hops. High throw to Orphis, and they got him. He was able to come down onto the bag just before Garcia crossed it. Smith is through 7. You'll see the replay. The Pacifics trail 2-1, and they'll send Kavanaugh, Pace, and Fontaine to the plate in the bottom of the 7th. The Pacifics 1. The Stompers 2 here on CMCM TV.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd.
You're watching Marin TV.
Bottom 7. Gabriel Garcia still on the mound. And it will be Matt Kavanaugh to lead it off. Kavanaugh 0 for 2 with a strikeout in his last at bat. First pitch in a very high pop-up foul ground. McAlpine going to give chase, and nobody's going to get it as Gavlik was there too. And it'll be strike one to Matt Kavanaugh.
That was one of those foul balls, Alex, that almost got here into our little press area from which this game is being called here on Marin TV. We're just up the first base line looking over the Pacific's dugout, and there's only one way for a foul ball to get here, and that was almost it. Straight up and straight down.
Kavanaugh out of San Francisco State University, 0-1. At the knees and a little bit low. 1-1.
I'm not 100% positive where that pitch missed. Looked awfully good.
That was close. And Garcia thought he had it. 1-1 to Kavanaugh. Off-speed slider is down and away. 2-1. Pacifics need base runners. Kavanaugh trying to lead off the inning and get himself aboard. Zach Pace is on deck. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters. 2-1 is swung and foul tipped off of McAlpine's glove. 2-2. Garcia is going to take a walk. He's back on the mound and he's ready. Long windup. Here's a 2-2 to Kavanaugh. And the breaking ball is high.
Going to try and put him away with a big breaker, but he just couldn't get it to bite. He just released it a fraction too soon.
Kavanaugh works the count full. 3-2 pitch is skied in the infield. Garcia's under it, and he'll put it away for one down in the bottom of the 7th.
Now batting for your Pacifics, Zach Pace.
You know, with the exception of the last 2 innings, really, he's faced 5. He faced 5 back in the 5th and 5 in the 6th. But Garcia's had a pretty strong night. He's gone 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And now he's gotten the leadoff batter here in the 7th.
First pitch to Pace is a little high for ball 1.
And he just showed him his best pitch, and he missed with it.
Been starting the hitters off with a lot of off-speed pitches. He went hard into Pace. He took it for ball 1. Same pitch, same spot, 2-0. If Pace can reach, Fontaine is next. He's got the lone RBI as he doubled in the 5th. In tight, 3-0 to Pace.
Pace has struck out twice so far tonight, Alex, and I have a feeling, since the Pacifics desperately need base runners, that Pace may be taking here.
The 3-0 to Pace is in there at the knees for strike 1.
And now normally I would say, I'll bet you he's going to take this pitch because everybody in the league does it. But under these circumstances, that was the right time to do it. Take it right there.
3-1 to Pace. And it looked a little in tight. Pace thought he had ball 4. The home plate umpire, Benice, calls strike 2 on the inside corner, and Garcia's battled back down from 3-0. Here's the payoff to Pace. And it's hit very deep. On the run is Ray, and he won't get it. It's off the wall. The throw comes in from right field, and that's from Marquis. And Pace has got a 1-out double.
Boy, he just tore into it. And Pace, as this season
Now batting for your Pacific,
has
Chase Fontaine.
kind of evolved in just 5 or 6 games, he's really established himself as a guy who can hit the ball sharply with power. He had a stretch in the middle of the season last year, or from the beginning to the middle, where he was batting over 500. I mean, pace was nutty hot, so he can see the ball beautifully. But now there's another dimension, and that is that pace can generate power. And that was a great example of how he can get a ball to the warning track with relative ease. Because it wasn't like he went after it. He just had a nice, balanced, smooth stroke and just was able to generate a ton of bat speed and powered it out there.
Fontaine at the plate, Pace at second. Pacific's trying to tie the ball game up. 2-1 Stompers. Gabriel Garcia just had a visit from his manager, Serrano. He's got one down in the inning. First pitch to Fontaine is a fly ball to left field. Chenworth is under it. And on the first pitch, Fontaine is retired.
Now batting for your Pacifics, 21, Troy Zawatsky.
Zawatsky had his first hit in the fifth. He scored Fontaine. And he's going to try to pick up Chase right here. Pace is on second. Not many runners in scoring position tonight for the Pacifics. And a swing and a miss as Garcia came right at Zawatsky with a fastball.
That was home run hack. You know, Zawatsky coming into tonight's action did not have a batting average. But, of course, the double and the RBI back in the fifth gave him some confidence, and it showed in that hack.
Zawatsky asks for time. He's set. Garcia waiting. 0-1 to Zawatsky. And that misses off the outside. 1-1.
A good take. Tough take. Because, frankly, from up here, it looked like that could have gone either way as we get a camera on the Stompers bullpen. So it looks like they got a couple of lefties up.
And an off-speed pitch misses away. Easy take for Zawatsky, 2-1. Outfield alignment giving Zawatsky a lot of room down left field. He's trying to find a gap and score pace to tie this up. 2-1 from Garcia is in the dirt. Zawatsky lays off, 3-1. Garcia does have an open base to play with. The 9-hitter, Stewart, is 0 for 2 on deck. And they're just going to put him on.
There's the first intentional walk of the season.
So Garcia does not want any part of Zawatsky. He wants to face Stewart. Charlie Stewart.
Now batting for your Pacifics, number 8.
Hitless on the season.
Stewart.
And they want to go with the lefty-lefty matchup.
Well, it sets up the ground ball to any base. So it's not as if Garcia was terrified of Zawatsky, although Zawatsky does have the one hit and RBI tonight.
Stewart swinging and a miss on the first pitch from Garcia. It's 0-1.
But if you're Stewart, the one thing you don't want to do is give Ray Serrano the satisfaction of making the right strategic move by intentionally walking Zawadzki to get to you.
Same pitch, off speed. He's able to lay off 1-1. And Charlie Stewart just needs to stay in his zone here. Look for a good pitch to drive. 2 men on. Pace is at second. Zawadzki's at first. The 1-1 to Stewart. And another swing and a miss, as he just got a piece of that off McAlpine. 1-2. And this is where Gabriel Garcia has gotten many of the Pacific's hitters behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the delivery and a curveball, and he stays alive. And they'll do it again.
Talk about barely catching a piece of it. But alive is alive. It can either be a big, loud, crazy foul ball, or it can just barely tip a piece of the bat. And he's still alive.
Stewart trying to battle with Garcia. Here's the 1-2. On the ground to the right side, it's Gavlik. He'll retire it. Stewart goes down, 3 unassisted. Pacifics can't get pace in and waste the 1-out double. We're going to the top of the 8th. The Stompers are coming up. It's 2-1 Sonoma.
And we're going to go to our instant replay, our Marin TV replay, in just a moment. Any second now, as we show the field umpire Garrett Wells. And here's the replay of Charlie Stewart. You'll notice Zach Pace there in the foreground at second base, taking the lead. But Garcia was interested in only one thing, and that's the chopper, and that's exactly what he got to end the threat. Well, the Pacifics had a chance, 2 on, and that's exactly what they were looking for. They needed base runners, and they got base runners. They just didn't get any across the plate. We'll be right back on Marin TV's coverage of the 2014 Pacifics. Eighth inning now, and it's still 2-1 Stompers. Jace Ray will lead things off, and hopefully the San Rafaels can hold them off and then get back up there and at least tie the score, Alex. Pacifics coming off a win on a 1-game winning streak. And when you've only won 2 games out of 5, well, that's a good place to be. All right, Jace Ray stands in. And the first pitch from Jesse Smith is high for a ball. There's the camera on the field. Good. Look at that.
Smith trying to work into the 8th and earn himself a win.
Long fly ball. Deep right field. At the wall is Zach Pace, and he makes the catch. And Jace Ray didn't miss that by much. He really tore into it, but Pace made it look easy. One away.
That's just a big league hang with him. He hit it on the screws and deep. Pace, though, with an excellent jump out in center field. He gets a great read on balls hit deep in the gaps.
Steve Renato, 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. Fly out and a grounder. First pitch swinging to center. Coming in is Pace. He's there, 2 down.
More work from Pace. And I'm not used to seeing this from Renato. He really hurt the Pacifics in the first series, and they've been able to retire him with relative ease.
You're right, 0 for 4 tonight. Matt Marquise, the cleanup batter, stands in. He's 0 for 3. So Smith has been pretty effective on the 2, 3, 4 batters. And the fastball is low. 1-0. Gavlik on deck, but 2 down here in the top of the 8th. And he fists one into right field. Hova to his left, can't get to it in time, and he picks it up and throws it in and holds Marquis to a single.
McKee able to take that fastball to right field, keeping his hands inside that baseball, going opposite way. Good at bat.
TJ Gavlik will stand in now. One of the 2 Sonoma runs to score. Gavlik, who came in place of Joel Carranza back in the 2nd inning when Carranza had a single to left, but as he crossed the first base bag, seemed to pull a hamstring. And Gavlik came in to take his place over at first base. Throw over to first. And Marquise is back in there. Gavlik, a left-handed batter. He'll be followed by Thomas McAlpine, but there are 2 down. And Marquise, the runner over at first. Gavlik is 0 for 2 on the night. And another throw over to first. And Smith has a nice move. And it's all going to be in the timing. And Gavlik, of course, a very speedy guy. They use him in pinch running situations. So Gavlik knows his way around the base paths. And the pitch comes home, and it's a line drive into right field, and Hova's up with it very quickly. And Gavlik delivers, and back-to-back hits into right field. And that puts Marquise over to second base.
And here comes Kavanaugh to talk to Smith. And this inning just became stressful. Two out hits. McAlpine's got a knock on the night. He's coming to the plate. And Smith really wants to preserve this 1-1 lead.
Can you identify who is warming up in the Pacific's bullpen? Thomas McAlpine makes his way to the hitting area as Kavanaugh's back behind the plate.
Looks like Chris Rice.
Now batting for Sonoma, 25, Thomas McAlpine.
2 on and 2 away. Oh, pardon me, you're absolutely right. I thought it was number 8. And Kavanaugh, a second mound visit? Wait a minute. I don't know if you can do that.
They're really trying to buy Rice some time.
Ray Serrano puts his palms to the sky. Wait, what are you doing? How many times can you go out to home plate without the pitching change being made? And there it is, because here comes Dan DePace. And I think Jesse Smith's night is over. Kavanaugh went out twice without a pitch being thrown. And now Dan DePace is on his way out. And this is buying time for the warming up of your bullpen in the most efficient way possible. So Smith is gone. He'll retire behind 2-1, having given up 6 hits and 2 runs, with 2 down here and 2 on. So Marquise and Gavlik both belong to Smith, who makes his way to the dugout to the appreciation of the crowd. Do you have any information on the new pitcher? Thomas McAlpine
Now pitching for your Pacific.
will remain the batter. That doesn't change. But Chris Rice, the big left-hander, big tall guy, slender, but has a devastating fastball. Rice, so far in 3 games, has pitched a total of 3 innings. He's given up 3 hits and 1 run. He walked a guy and struck out 3. Bryce, very capable. Got a lot of stuff, but the one thing that seems to throw opposing batters off is his 92-mile-an-hour fastball. He can really heave it in there. His timing is absolutely beautiful. And his arm action is unparalleled. He can really throw the ball fast.
He's on a hard slider to go with it, and that's good deception, the way he drops down and uses that 75-degree arm angle.
So with 2 on and 2 out, Dan DePace calls on Rice, the first-year Pacific, to get out of this jam and then give the Pacifics a chance in the bottom of the 8th. And obviously the way it sets up is get out of this, score a couple, and let Colin Allen, the closer, finish the deal. In a perfect world, that's how it would unfold. Rice is ready. McAlpine steps in. Fastball is inside. Ball 1. Reed Chenworth is on deck, but Thomas McAlpine, the catcher, has a strikeout and a hit. He walked back in the second, a run scored.
And with good speed at second in Marquise, the skipper DePace brings in Stewart in left field a couple steps.
McAlpine with a hit to right last time up, and there's a fastball poured in there, and a beauty by Rice. Really bringing the heat, 1-1. Rice needs to hold the Stompers here. Ooh, the slider is down low. 2-1. I'm not sure where it missed, but it must have been called low. It's the bottom part of the strike zone, but apparently by the time it got to Kavanaugh, dropped down. Rice looks the runner back. Now home. There's a fastball. Called strike 2. And I don't think McAlpine had any chance of catching up. That was just such a perfectly thrown fastball.
That's just good old country hardball. And Rice is going right after McAlpine.
Here's the 2-2. Quick glance back. Got him swinging. Exactly what the Pacifics needed out of Rice, the first-year man. And while we await our Marin TV replay, remind you that Friday night here at the ballpark, Jerry Mathers will be here. Want to come down and meet him? It'll be Kyriakos, Boyd, and Orifice here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Pacifics trail 2-1. They have a chance. Get a couple right here and then have Colin Allen mow them down. Well, that's exactly what they'd love to see as we now go to our replay. Our Marin TV. This is our new feature, fans. And there it is. McAlpine, as you can see at the end of that, was very unhappy with his personal effort. But Rice is one of those guys. He's just tough. He throws really hard. When we come back, the Pacifics have a chance. It's the bottom of the 8th inning with Horn and Swan right here on Marin TV.
You're watching Marin TV.
Bottom of the 8th inning. David Kiriakos here on Marin TV's coverage of the 2014 Pacifics. Garcia's still out there, the hard-throwing lefty. Kiriakos, first pitch, left field wall and deep. Chenworth back. Reaches up over the top of the wall, and he got it.
Are you kidding me?
Alex, I think he robbed him of a home run.
Oh, he absolutely did. That was one heck of a play. Are you kidding me? Chenworth runs all the way back in front of the welcome group yellow sign, goes halfway up the wall, and brings it back. And this game is still a 1-1 deficit.
Kiriakos hit it hard and had a ton behind it, but with a tremendous defensive play, which could turn out to be the deciding factor in this game, because that was a home run.
Oh, that was huge. That was a no-doubter, and Chenworth brought it back.
Evan Boyd now stands in. Behind in the count. Check it. Even in the count, 1-1. Well, Alex and I were talking about the potential home run from Kiriakos that was hauled back in on a brilliant defensive move out in left field by Chenworth. 1-1, now a breaking ball. Taken, 2-1, and Boyd could be in the driver's seat right about now. Boyd, the first-year Pacific. Hit his last at bat, and he skies one to the gap in left center. And Chenworth, to his left, hauls it in, 2 away.
More work for Chenworth. And those are 2 well-hit balls that Garcia got away with up in the zone. I guess if it's your night, things are working for you.
Well, I'm hesitant to say that as a Pacifics fan, but in all reality, you're right. That's exactly how things work when it's your night. 2 nice plays by Chenworth. And Orifice stands in, and he opens him up with a breaking ball. Strike 1 called. Michael Hoba on deck. But for now, it's the first baseman, Orifice. Orifice with the game winner just a couple of nights ago against the Metal. Another curveball. Taken, ball 1. 1-1. Orifice in the bottom of the 9th inning, just a couple nights ago, was able to knock in the winning run. A very exciting finish to that one. Garcia comes home. A fastball. Gloved by Gavlik, and he takes it to the bag himself. Garcia gets the Pacific's 1-2-3, albeit a couple of very dramatic outs as we await the very exciting Marin TV replay. I just can't wait. I love it. The replay is the greatest, Alex. I'm sure you agree.
I think Scott Calhoun's doing a great job with it.
Absolutely. Reed Chenworth will lead things off for the Stompers, and then Kyle Jones and Derek Fox, the 7, 8, 9 batters for the visiting Stompers. Pacific's on that one-game winning streak. And here's Colin Allen in the top of the ninth just to get him a little work as we go now to our Marin TV replay of the ground ball to first. And there it was. And I think it was worth the wait. So when we come back, top 9, Chenworth, Jones, Fox, Alex and I will be right back on Marin TV's coverage of the 2014 Pacifics.
You're watching Marin TV.
Well, Reed Chenworth is going to lead off here in the top of the ninth. He walked back in the second inning, stranded at third base. Since then, a ground ball and a fly ball. Colin Allen, though, the hard-throwing right-handed closer for the San Rafaels, has come in for a little bit of work. Normally, you reserve your closer for the close games when you're leading to close the games. And Chenworth swings at the first pitch, and it's fouled down the third base side. One strike on him, and now he brings the fastball up and in, taken for a ball. 1-1. Kyle Jones on deck. Allen has pitched in 2 games, a total of 2 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, couple of walks, couple strikeouts. This is up the middle. Boyd with a tough hop, long throw, orifice. 1 gone.
That was a wicked hop.
It came up at the last second. He had it read, and then that last hop kind of hit the seam, but where the grass meets the dirt here at Albert Park, and popped up a little higher than he expected. And his throw, as a result, was a little bit high over to Orifice, but the crafty first baseman, Mike Orifice, handled it easily. Here's Kyle Jones. Fastball really has Kavanaugh's glove snapping behind the plate.
That's what you're going to see out of Allen. Just a lot of gas. And there will be a lot of hard-hit balls with the hard-throwing right-hander out on the mound.
The DH, Kyle Jones. Fastball is taken. Strike 1. 1-1. Allen, as a result of the 1 run, has a 4.50 ERA, 1 run in 2 innings. Now a fastball taken, 1-2. And he's ahead in the count. Jones, the 8-hole hitter, swung on and missed. 2 down.
Going right after Jones. And that is a hat trick for Kyle Jones. 3 strikeouts on the night.
Derek Fox.
I have him with 4. 1 in the
Then
second.
he's got the golden sombrero.
1 in the 4th. 1 in the 7th. And now here in the ninth, gives him the Goldie. 2-1 Sonoma. Allen opens him up with a fastball in the dirt. Fox with a strikeout, a fly ball, and a ground out is 0 for 3 on the night. Aritz Garcia awaits his chance. Long fly ball. Hoba at the wall. Hoba looking up. Gone. Derek Fox delivers a home run out onto Albert Park Lane. And just when Colin Allen looked like he was going to finish the deal, the 9-hole batter, Derek Fox, launches one into the night sky. And 3-1 Sonoma.
He's got the short, compact swing. He was sitting fastball, turned on it, and he took him deep. That's a big run.
That is a huge run. Now, Aritz Garcia stands in, and we'll watch the replay, and you can see on that Marin TV replay how well Fox squared up on it and sent it way over the wall. So Aritz Garcia stands in and he takes a ball, and the next pitch is low, 2-0. Jace Ray on deck. The fans really are, just when the fans were kind of getting pumped because it's been a while, all the way back to the second inning since the Sonomas had scored, now 3-0. Since they had a chance to score, well, they've had plenty of chances, but since they managed to score, and a fastball across the knees is called a strike, 3-1. And then Allen, who was dealing and owned Chenworth, he owned Jones, and the last thing anybody thought was the 9-hole hitter Fox was going to deposit one out onto Albert Park Drive, but that's exactly what he did, and now Garcia has walked.
Now Allen's got to try to get out of this inning, compose himself a little bit here. He probably didn't expect to give up the bomb to Fox either.
Yeah, I dare say.
He's got to go after and get Ray.
Ray with a fly ball to center field, his last at-bat. There's a devastating fastball. It's just money. Strike one. Steve Renato's on deck. Ray did have a hit back in the fifth. And he had one, a double, in the first. And now he's got another one because it's in the gap. And to the wall is Pace. And coming around third to score is Garcia. And into second, Jace Ray delivers. And it's a 4-1 ball game.
That's another challenge fastball from Allen. And Ray's done well to go the opposite field tonight. He's got 2 doubles that way. And he's dialed in.
3 for 5 on the night. And Ray's pretty stoked with his own performance. He was able to get one, a high fastball, and get one off on Colin Allen. And not many guys can say that. Here's Ronaldo. 0 for 4 on the night. There's that slider poured in there, strike one. Renato batting in the 3-hole, and he's got Matt Marquise, the cleanup batter, due up next. Next pitch is lunged at and missed, 0-2. Allen was able to get the first 2 guys with relative ease. Then the home run by Fox. And then Garcia came up. He was walked. And then Jace Ray with the RBI double. And all of a sudden, the Pacifics are down by 3. Curveball got him looking. So Allen with a nice job there. However, in the inning. 2 hits and a walk. One of those hits was an RBI over the right field wall. Allen a bit dejected as he leaves the field. It's a 4-1 ball game, and the Pacifics have a little work to do here. And I wonder, Garcia is coming out. I assume, here's the replay from Marin TV of that final pitch by Colin Allen, the closer. And am I wrong? That's not Garcia? Just say it.
Mike Jackson Jr.
Mike Jackson Jr., the closer. Yeah, of course. Oh, yeah. It's an entirely different look as we watch the Marin TV replay. There it is. So on one hand, Allen leaves the field happy because he was able to do what he wanted to do and get the batter at that point. Mike Jackson Jr. will come in to try and close things out. He faces the 4, 5, 6 hitters. Hova, Kavanaugh, Pace. We'll have it for you in just a moment right here on Marin TV. We'll be right back.
You're watching Marin TV.
Mike Jackson Jr. is on the mound to close things out for the Stompers, leading 4-1 over the San Rafael Pacifics. Jackson Jr. in 3 games, 2 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up a couple hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, no earned runs. 0-0-0, and he opens up Hoba with a high fastball called a strike. Hobo for 3 on the night. Up the middle, and it gets past Jackson Jr., and Hoba has himself a leadoff single. It's just what the San Rafael's need, Alex.
Got to get the leadoff hitter on to start a rally. Jackson Jr. throws hard just like Colin Allen does, and Hoba goes right back up the middle.
Hoba delivers.
For your Pacifics and sponsored by
There he is, good old number 10. Here's Matt Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh, second-year Pacific, works behind the plate. Superb catcher, 0 for 3 on the night. Jackson works pretty quickly, and the fastball is high. Hoba, not much of a threat to steal over there at first. Jackson, the big righty, isn't going to pay a ton of attention to Hoba. Fastball across the knees. Kavanaugh takes 1-1. The Pacific's lone run came back in the 5th. The RBI by Zawadzki, his first hit of the season, was able to score Chase Fontaine. Here's the 1-1. Big curveball. Stayed up. 2-1. And you're right, Alex. If you want to get a bona fide rally going, 9 times out of 10, you got to get that leadoff batter aboard. And that's exactly what the Pacifics managed to do.
And Jackson Jr. is not used to throwing a lot of pitches. And the more you can make him work, the more stressful the inning becomes.
That's a very good point. He's got 3 saves, 3 for 3. Fastball is taken, a delayed call by Kevin Bennessy, strike 2. So while this is not an official save situation, up by 3, important nonetheless. Stompers want to open this series with a win if they can. They got past the Pacifics last week, 2 of the 3 games. A chopper back to Jackson, and he muffs it, and now the throw over to first, and just in time gets Kavanaugh. He muffed it off the bare hand, dropped it, muffed it again, and then had to throw a 92-mile-an-hour fastball over to first base to the covering Gavlik, and he still was able to get him.
Oh, they got him by a half a step. Gavlik almost bobbled that ball again, as he did earlier in the ball game. But Jackson Jr. taking a gamble, trying to barehand that baseball off the crack of the bat, and it almost cost him.
A lot of Bay Area fans might remember his dad, Mike Jackson, closer for the Giants. Here's Zach Pace. Pace stands in. He's got first base open. Chase Fontaine is on deck. A hit last time up. Pace with a double. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning, and it's 0-2.
And there's that nasty splitter Jackson compliments his fastball with.
Pace with a couple strikeouts tonight, and of course that well-struck double into the gap in right center. Oh, the high cheese and a half-hearted swing, and Pace is gone. 2 down. Chase Fontaine with 2 away, and a runner at second in Michael Hoba. Zawadzki on deck represents the tying run. Fontaine with a double and a run scored back in the 5th. Like a changeup. Taken strike 1. Fontaine stands in. Jackson Jr. looks a runner back, comes home with a fastball. Swung on and missed, and the San Rafaels are down to their final strike. Fontaine steps out, adjusts the gloves, and gathers himself.
You got to protect.
Jackson dangles the arm. 2 away, bottom 9. Here it is. Outside, Fontaine's alive, 1-2. Tomorrow night, 7:05, first pitch. That'll be on radio only. Go to PacificsBaseball.com. Thursday night, back on Marin TV. Here it is, 1-2. Outside again, 2-2.
Back-to-back splitters, Fontaine laying off.
Good eye from the left fielder, Fontaine. DHing tonight. Hoba the runner at second. Mike Jackson Jr., 2-2. Long fly ball. Check it, it's popped straight up. And the third baseman, Renato's under it. Boy, the swing on the TV monitor, Alex, looked like Fontaine got into it, but as it turns out, he popped him up, and Renato, the third baseman, is able to haul it in to end things. And I think we're going to see that on the Marin TV replay. No, we're not. The signal comes in, no replay for the end of the game. Well, the save goes to Mike Jackson, and Jesse Smith gets his first loss of the season. I don't know. The Pacifics came out a little lackluster. They got a little something going in the middle, and then toward the end they just couldn't get it going, Alex.
And you just got to tip your cap to Gabriel Garcia. Anytime you can go 8 and then have your closer shut the door in the 9th, that's the real deal. And the Stompers are no joke. as this is a first-year ball club, and Ray Serrano's doing an excellent job with them. The Pacifics have their work cut out for them. It's a long season. Dan DePace says there's still a lot of kinks to be working out. They're not at full strength without Ryan Pretty. And they'll be back. Pacifics will be just fine, but the Stompers right now, they're starting out the season the way you want to as a new ball club.
Pacifics go to 2-4 on the season, and we'll be back on Marin TV 48 hours from now. 7:05 first pitch on Thursday night. Alex and I will be back with that one, and well, I look forward to it either way.
Oh, yeah.
Tonight's a tough to swallow. Allen looked really good until that home run, and gosh, what a way to end it. All right, fans, well, that's going to do it for Alex and I and everybody else in the Marin TV crew. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and we appreciate you spending your evening with us and the San Rafael Pacifics. See you in a couple days right here on Marin TV and the coverage of the 2014 San Rafael Pacifics Baseball Club.
You're watching Marin TV.